Stop the 4 healthy habits stealing your independence and $100,000. You've been told to walk more, eat lighter, sip a Nightcap, and trust every doctor-approved pill. Sounds healthy, right? Those 4 habits quietly strip muscle, fog your brain, and set you up for a financial hit you didn't plan for. The top 1% who stay independent into their 80s and 90s avoid these traps, and I'll show you how. By the end, you'll spot the 4 healthy lies stealing your legs and your cash, and you'll have simple fixes you can start today. Miss this, and small slips turn into falls, ER bills, and fees that stack fast. There's one habit that even mimics dementia, causing confusion, slow gait, and weak grip, so families panic and pay for unnecessary care. Stay with me. You'll learn the lie, the fix, and the 12-minute plan that protects your independence and your savings starting this week. In the next hour, I'll break down the 4 lies, give you simple swaps, and hand you a 12-minute independence daily you can run at home. If you skip this, you could end up funding a nursing home bed you never planned to use. I'll connect muscle to money, legs to lifestyle, strength to savings, so every action you take today shows up in your balance sheet later. Independence equals legs plus cash flow. Here's the truth most people miss. Independence in your 70s and 80s runs on leg strength and cash flow. Muscle loss, sarcopenia, hits about 10 to 20% of adults in their 60s and climbs to 30 to 50% by your 80s. When muscle drops, balance goes, walking slows, and the risk of a fall shoots up. That's not just scary, it's expensive. One broken hip can trigger a first-year total cost between $40,000 and $100,000, depending on coverage. Even with insurance, coverage gaps can leave you with $30,000 or more out of pocket. Acute and post-acute care are the big drivers, but the bleed continues with rehab, home health devices, and copays. Every 5% drop in leg strength ripples through daily life. You need more help with stairs and groceries. You pay for rides you use to drive yourself. You buy canes, walkers, grab bars, and shower help. That's money you could keep by rebuilding strength now. This isn't about superhuman discipline. It's about using methods that actually build and protect muscle, sleep, and cognition, while cutting the biggest financial risks. When my clients stack the right strength moves with the right protein across the day and clean up one sleep habit, they cut falls by a lot and gain back daily capacity. That shows up in fewer appointments, fewer pickups, and fewer bills. And one more thing most people underestimate: session duration. If you binge 3 to 4 focus lessons like this, the habits stick. So we're going to move fast into the first healthy lie that speeds muscle loss, then immediately give you a better method you can start today. Once you nail that, everything else clicks, and the financial drain slows with it. Lie number 1, healthy walking only trap. Now, here's where most people mess up. You're told, just walk more. Steps feel safe, easy to track, and socially approved. For the first 2 or 3 weeks, you do feel better, more fresh air, a little less stiff. But then progress stalls. Stairs still burn. Chairs feel heavier. Getting out of the car isn't smoother. The reason is simple. Walking mostly raises your step count, not the force your legs can produce. And when independence depends on force, standing up, catching yourself, climbing, steps alone won't cut it. The thing most people miss is that sarcopenia doesn't just shrink muscle, it steals power. Fast-twitch fibers, the ones that help you rise quickly from a chair or correct a stumble, fade without load. Walking is rhythmic and submaximal. It doesn't ask your legs to push hard enough to keep those fibers online. So you get better at strolling, but worse at the moves that prevent falls. This clicked for me when a client hit 10,000 steps a day for a month and still needed both hands to get off the couch. We added one strength set, controlled chair stands, 3 times a week. In 2 weeks, she stood up smoother. In 8 weeks, she used one handrail on stairs. Same steps, different result. because load tells muscle to stay. Before we continue, you need to understand why walking only quietly increases bills. As leg power drops, you start compensating. You push off your thighs, avoid certain curbs, take extra time in the bathroom. That delay and hesitation raise fall risk. A single hip fracture can rack up a first-year total cost anywhere from $40,000 to $100,000, depending on coverage. Even with insurance, gaps can leave you with $30,000 or more out of pocket. Add rides to appointments, home health hours, and devices, canes, walkers, rails, and the meter keeps running. The game changer nobody talks about is force production. Your legs need periodic overload to maintain it. Resistance training, not marathons of steps, is first line for fighting sarcopenia. And no, this doesn't mean barbells, if that's not your thing. It means using your body weight, a sturdy chair, a tote bag with soup cans, and a step. Short, focused, and safe beats long, aimless and tiring. Let me show you exactly how to spot the stall. Ask yourself 3 questions. Do you still need both hands to get out of a chair? Do you avoid a particular staircase or always grab the rail? Do you hesitate before stepping off a curb? If yes to any, your issue isn't endurance, it's strength and power. Steps won't fix that. Load will. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Pair your walk with micro-loads. After your walk, do 1 slow set of chair stands. Sit to stand, then back down under control. 2 days later, add a loaded carry, hold a light bag at your side, and walk 20 to 30 seconds. Posture tall, eyes forward. Next week, do low step UPS onto a sturdy platform. That small load unlocks the fast twitch fibers walking ignores. The reason this works is specificity. Muscle adapts to the hardest thing you ask it to do regularly. If the hardest thing is a brisk stroll, your capacity tops out at brisk stroll. If twice a week you ask your legs to push harder, stand up slower, control the down phase, carry a little weight, your nervous system recruits more fibers, and your legs remember how to produce force quickly. That's what keeps you upright when you trip on a rug. Common mistakes to avoid. Speed over control. Bouncing out of the chair doesn't build strength. It uses momentum. Holding your breath. Exhale on the stand. Inhale on the sit. Doing it daily until you're sore. Muscle needs recovery. And thinking, I walked 5,000 steps, so I'm covered. Steps are great for heart and mood. They are not a strength plan. Quick win you can try today. Test the 30-second sit to stand. Cross arms if safe, or gently touch the chair for balance. Count how many full stands you do in 30 seconds with good control. If you're under 10, your first goal is to reach 10. If you're at or above 10, your goal is to lower the chair height a notch over the next month or add a light load for carries. This single number gives you a baseline and a target. Now here's where most people mess it up at minute 12 of their new routine. They rush the down phase. The slow lower, 2 to 3 seconds, is the secret sauce. That eccentric control builds strength faster and protects knees. If you skip it, you cut your results in half. Stay patient on the way down. Stand up with purpose. Breathe. Micro story. Last week, a client who averaged 8,000 steps was still wobbling on morning turns. We added 2 sets of 5 slow chair stands, 3 times a week, and 30 seconds of loaded carries with a 6-pound bag. In 3 weeks, his morning wobble was gone. In 6 weeks, he climbed his front steps without the rail. Same steps, but now the legs had power. If you remember nothing else from this section, remember this. Walking keeps you moving, load keeps you independent. Keep your walks for mood, joints, and community. Add targeted load to protect your stairs, chairs, and balance, and to avoid the cascade of costs tied to one bad fall. Next, I'll give you the exact sit-stand-load protocol with reps, sets, and progressions you can start this week. Fix number 1, the sit-stand-load protocol. Let me show you exactly how to turn steps into real strength with a simple, safe routine. Sit, stand, load. 3 moves, 2 to 3 days a week, 10 to 12 weeks. Short sessions, big payoff in leg power and gait speed. Move 1 is chair stands. Sit on a sturdy chair with your feet under you, shoulder width. Scoot forward so your shins are near vertical. Press through your midfoot and heel. Stand up tall, then lower back down for 2 to 3 seconds. That slow lower is the engine. Start with 1 to 2 sets of 5 to 8 reps. Rest 40 to 60 seconds between sets. If you need balance support, lightly touch the chair or a counter. Breathe out as you stand. Breathe in as you lower. Progression is simple. When 8 reps feel smooth, either slow the lower to 3 seconds or lower the chair height by adding a folded towel under your feet or removing a cushion. If the chair is already low, hold a light object close to your chest for a small load. The goal is controlled strength, not speed. Move 2 is loaded carries. Grab a tote or grocery bag with 2 to 10 pounds, soup cans, rice, books. Stand tall, shoulders down and back, eyes forward. Walk in a straight line for 20 to 30 seconds. Rest, then repeat for 2 to 3 rounds. Keep your steps quiet and even. If one side feels easier, alternate hands each round. Carries build grip, trunk stability, and the leg to hip power you use on stairs and curves. Progression here is time, then load. Add 5 seconds per week up to 45 seconds per carry before you add weight. Your posture is the limiter. If you start leaning or shrugging, the load is too heavy. Keep it crisp. Move 3 is step-ups. Use a low, stable step, 4 to 6 inches to start. Place your entire foot on the step. Lean slightly forward, press through your whole foot, and stand tall on the step without pushing much from the back leg. Control the step down. Start with 5 reps each leg, 1 to 2 sets. If your knee aches, reduce the height or slow the down phase more. No wobble is the standard. Progression. Add a rep per set each week until you hit 8 to 10. Then raise the step by an inch or hold a very light back. Always own the down phase. Here's the weekly structure. Day 1, chair stands and loaded carries. Day 3, chair stands and step-ups. Day 5, carries and step-ups. That is 2 to 3 sets per move, done in about 12 minutes. Keep 1 day between for recovery. If you only have 2 days, alternate pairs each week, and you'll still move forward. Your quick win benchmark is the 30-second sit-to-stand test. 10 clean stands in 30 seconds is your first target. If you are under 10, stick with the higher chair and focus on slow lowers until you cross 10. Once you are at 10, either lower the chair slightly or hold a 2 to 5 pound load close to your chest for the final set. Retest every 2 weeks. Seeing that number tick up keeps you consistent. A mistake I see often is chasing daily volume. You do chair stands every day, your knees ache, and you quit. Respect recovery. 2 to 3 non-consecutive days is perfect. Another mistake is holding your breath. Use the cue. Tall to stand, air out. Sit with control, air in. And do not turn carries into a shrug march. Shoulders stay down. Think zipper tall, not turtleneck. Safety notes matter. If you feel sharp joint pain, stop and reduce range or load. If you get dizzy on stands, widen your stance, slow down, and exhale as you rise. Keep a counter nearby for light fingertip support until your balance improves. Steady beats heroic. Now, how fast should this work? In 10 to 12 weeks, with 2 to 3 sessions weekly, you should see smoother chair rises, longer carry times with better posture, and cleaner step-offs. Many older adults improve gait speed and balance by training exactly these patterns. You will feel it first in daily wins. 1 hand instead of 2 on the rail, easier car exits, less wobble on turns. Want a tiny upgrade that accelerates results? Add a 2 to 3 second pause just above the chair on the way down once per set. That is where your quads stabilize your knees. It builds control fast. Finish each session with a 30 to 60 second calf raise set at the counter. Slow up for 2, hold 1, slow down for 2. Strong calves help with push-off and curb clearing. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Sit builds strength to stand. Stand with control teaches power. Load locks it into real life. 2 to 3 days a week, 10 to 12 weeks. Then keep it as your independence insurance. Lie number 2, heart healthy, low protein day. Now, here's where good intentions backfire. You've been told to eat lighter, cut back on meat, and have a small salad for dinner. Sounds heart healthy, but for older adults, low protein days quietly speed muscle loss. Remember, independence runs on leg strength. When protein drops too low, you can't trigger muscle building, and sarcopenia wins. The thing most people miss is timing and dose. Your muscles need a certain amount of the amino acid leucine at a single meal to flip on muscle protein synthesis. For most adults in their 60s and beyond, that's roughly 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine, which you'll usually hit with about 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein. If you nibble 5 to 10 grams at breakfast, 10 grams at lunch, then a bigger dinner, you've missed 2 out of 3 building windows. That adds up week after week as lost muscle. This clicked for a client who ate clean but grazed. Toast in the morning, soup at lunch, chicken at night. Steps were solid, strength training was on track, but her sit-to-stand score didn't budge. We shifted her to 30 grams of protein at breakfast, and lunch kept dinner steady. And in 3 weeks, her count moved from 8 to 10. Same workouts, different protein pattern. Her muscles finally had the signal to rebuild. Before we continue, you need to understand why low-protein days get recommended. Old guidelines prioritized total daily protein and assumed even distribution wasn't critical. For younger people, the threshold is lower. With age, muscles get anabolic resistant. You need a cleaner, stronger signal at each meal. So that heart-healthy bowl of oatmeal with berries and coffee, great for fiber and polyphenol, but without protein, your legs get nothing from that meal. The hidden bill shows up in slower rehab after any illness or surgery, longer hospital stays if you do get admitted, and more paid help at home because getting up and down takes more effort. Add in the snacks that creep in when low-protein breakfasts leave you hungry, crackers here, cookies there, and your grocery bill goes up while your strength goes down. You end up paying more and getting less. Let me show you exactly how to spot this trap. Ask, do I get at least 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Do I often save protein for later? Meaning dinner does the heavy lifting? Do I skip breakfast or just have coffee and toast? If yes, you're leaving 2/3 of your daily muscle building on the table. And if your protein mainly lands late at night, you're stacking calories right before sleep without giving your daytime muscles a reason to grow. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Build your day around protein anchors. At breakfast, pair familiar foods with a protein base, eggs with Greek yogurt or cottage cheese with fruit, or a protein-fortified oatmeal using milk, and a scoop of whey if your doctor's aligned with that choice. At lunch, simple wins: tuna with beans, chicken in a vegetable soup, or lentil soup with a side of yogurt. Dinner can stay normal: fish, chicken, tofu, or lean beef. Just make sure the portion hits around 30 grams. Now, you might be thinking, chewing's hard, or my dentures make me to chew. Actually, let me back up and give options that work. Greek yogurt, skyr, cottage cheese, soft scrambled eggs, flaky fish, silken tofu, protein smoothies with milk and peanut butter, and blended soups with chicken or beans. If budget's tight, beans plus eggs is a powerful combo. If appetite's low, go smaller but denser. 3 ounces of chicken plus a yogurt gets you there. The reason this works is the leucine trigger. 30 grams of high-quality protein often contains that 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine your muscles need to start building. Spread that across 3 meals, and you get 3 strong signals instead of 1 weak one. With your sit-stand-load training in place, those signals translate into actual strength. Common mistakes: grazing all day and never hitting the threshold at once, pushing all your protein to dinner only, skipping breakfast, and trying to make up later, or swapping protein for healthy carbs at night, then wondering why you're wide awake and still weak in the morning. Another pitfall is counting peanut butter as a full protein. It helps, but it's more fat than protein. Pair it with dairy or eggs to get the numbers. Quick win you can try today: total your next meal. If breakfast usually has under 15 grams, add 1 protein item to hit 30. 2 eggs plus a cup of Greek yogurt does it. If lunch is just salad, add a can of tuna or a cup of cottage cheese on the side. Do this for 7 days and retest your 30-second sit to stand. Most people see smoother stands and fewer cravings. One more warning looped to sleep: that evening glass of alcohol you thought helped? It doesn't build muscle, and it can disrupt deep sleep that supports recovery. We'll fix that in the sleep section, but know this: protein earlier, alcohol earlier or not at all, and your morning balance gets steadier. If you remember nothing else, remember this: low protein days feel light, but they make your legs light too, in the worst way. Hit 30 grams at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and your training finally pays off. Next, I'll give you the exact 303030 pattern with simple, denture-friendly, budget-friendly
Fix
builds
number
that
2,
turn
the
meals into
30-30-30
protein pattern. Let me show you exactly how to turn meals into muscle with the 30-30-30 pattern. About 30 grams of protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's simple, repeatable, and it gives your muscles 3 strong building signals a day instead of 1 weak one. Pair this with your sit-stand-load training, and you'll feel steadier within weeks. Breakfast first, because skipping it is where most people lose the day. Quick builds that hit 30 grams. 2 eggs plus 1 cup of Greek yogurt, cottage cheese bowl with fruit and a sprinkle of nuts, protein-fortified oatmeal made with milk and a scoop of whey or soy isolate, tofu scramble with cheese, or smoked salmon on whole grain toast with a side of yogurt. If chewing is tough, blend a smoothie: milk, Greek yogurt, peanut butter, and a handful of oats. Keep it denture-friendly, and you'll actually eat it. Lunch is your second switch. Simple combos: tuna mixed with beans and olive oil on greens, chicken and veggie soup with extra chicken tossed in, lentil soup plus a side of cottage cheese, turkey roll UPS with hummus and a yogurt cup, or a tofu and edamame salad bowl. Canned and frozen options keep costs down. Canned tuna or salmon, beans, and frozen cooked chicken strips are budget wins that make 30 grams easy. Dinner can stay familiar. Aim for palm-sized portions: salmon, chicken thighs, lean beef, pork tenderloin, or firm tofu stir-fry. If appetite is low at night, split dinner into 2 smaller plates spaced 90 minutes apart, each with at least 15 to 20 grams, so you still hit your daily total without feeling stuffed. You're not chasing a bodybuilder target. You're hitting the leucine trigger, roughly 2.5 to 3 grams per meal, which you usually get when that meal includes about 30 grams of high-quality protein. Now, how do you adjust for dentures, budget, and low appetite? Dentures: choose tender and soft proteins: Greek yogurt, skyr, cottage cheese, eggs, flaky fish, silken tofu, slow-cooked shredded chicken, and blended soups. Budget: beans, eggs, dairy, and canned fish are your staples. A can of tuna plus a cup of Greek yogurt runs cheap and nails the target: low appetite. Go denser, not bigger: half a cup of cottage cheese with nuts, 3 ounces of chicken added to soup, or a small smoothie with milk and yogurt. Aim for the number, not the volume. Here's the daily template. Morning: anchor protein before coffee if you usually forget to eat. Make it grab and go: Greek yogurt cup plus 2 hard-boiled eggs, made ahead. Midday: pair a soup or salad with a canned protein: tuna, chicken, or beans, so you never rely on lettuce alone. Evening, whatever fits your culture and taste, just check the portion. Keep a cheat card on the fridge that lists your 5 go-to options for each meal. Decision fatigue is the enemy, defaults win. Let me give you a 7-day starter plan. Day 1, breakfast, 2 eggs and a cup of Greek yogurt. Lunch, tuna and white bean salad. Dinner, chicken and veggie stir-fry. Day 2, breakfast, cottage cheese bowl. Lunch, lentil soup plus yogurt. Dinner, salmon with potatoes and broccoli. Day 3, breakfast, protein oatmeal. Lunch, turkey roll UPS with hummus and yogurt. Dinner, tofu stir-fry. Repeat variations. You'll find favorites fast, then just rotate them. Now, here's where most people mess it up. They graze. A little toast here, a nibble there, and they never reach the per meal threshold that flips on muscle building. Or they push all their protein to dinner, then wonder why mornings feel weak. Another pitfall is calling peanut butter a protein. It helps, but it's mostly fat. Pair it with dairy or eggs to get to 30. And don't chase healthy by trading protein for evening sugar. The crash ruins sleep and recovery. Common mistakes to avoid: skipping breakfast and saying, "I'm not hungry." Start smaller but hit protein density. Half cup of cottage cheese plus a yogurt is fine. Drinking a nightcap and thinking it helps recovery. It fragments sleep and blunts next day balance. We'll fix the timing in the sleep section, relying only on protein powders for every meal. Powders can help, but whole foods carry minerals and satiety that powders miss. Use powders as a tool, not a crutch. Quick when you can do today. Prep a breakfast box with 2 hard-boiled eggs and a single-serve Greek yogurt. That's roughly 30 grams in under 2 minutes. For lunch, keep a can opener by the bowls and make tuna bean salad with olive oil and lemon. For dinner, thaw a palm-sized piece of salmon or chicken in the fridge tonight. You just built a 30-30-30 day with almost no cooking. How do you know it's working? Track 2 signals for 7 days: your 30-second sit-to-stand count and your afternoon cravings. Most people see smoother stands and fewer snack urges within 2 to 3 weeks. Your legs finally get the message. Rebuild. If you remember nothing else, remember this: muscles don't listen to calories, they listen to signals. 30 grams, 3 times a day, flips the switch your legs need. Tie it to meals you already like, keep it soft and affordable if you need to, and watch your sit-stand-load training start compounding. Line number 3, Nightcap helps sleep and heart. This next part separates beginners from pros. You've heard it for decades. A small glass of wine helps you fall asleep and might even be heart healthy. Here's the problem. Falling asleep faster isn't the goal. Getting deep, stable sleep is. Alcohol helps you drift off, then breaks your night into fragments. Less deep sleep, less REM, more bathroom trips, more 3 a.m. wake-ups. You wake up groggy, slower on turns, and a little unsteady. That's a bad combo for fall risk. The thing most people miss is dose and timing. Even low doses in the evening reduce REM and deep sleep and impair next day stability. Older adults feel this more because metabolism slows and alcohol lingers. Mix in common medications and the effects stack. Sedatives, antihistamines, certain pain meds, and alcohol all depress the nervous system. Add 1 glass to a sedating pill, and your balance and reaction time take a noticeable hit the next morning. This clicked for me when a client swore the nightcap helped him relax. He fell asleep in 10 minutes, then woke 4 times and felt foggy until noon. We pulled the drink from the 2 hours before bed and added a short wind down. In 5 nights, his sleep tracker showed more deep sleep, and he said the morning wobble eased. No new supplements, just removing the friction. Before we continue, you need to understand the brain angle. With age, brains get more vulnerable to toxins. Regular alcohol intake can contribute to brain shrinkage over time, and when combined with dehydration and certain meds, it pushes confusion, dizziness, and slow gait, the exact symptoms families mistake for dementia. That's how one harmless glass turns into alarm, testing, and bills that stack fast. Let me show you exactly how this hits your wallet. Fragmented sleep drives daytime fatigue, which leads to less movement and weaker balance. That UPS fall risk. One bad fall, and you're on the hip fracture conveyor belt. Ambulance, surgery, rehab, copays. First-year totals commonly land between $40,000 and $100,000 depending on coverage, with out-of-pocket gaps that can pass $30,000. If you use a CPAP for sleep apnea, alcohol cuts adherence, leading to extra appointments, equipment tweaks, and sometimes higher premiums. Removing the nightcap helps you sleep deeper and makes CPAP more tolerable. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Separate alcohol from sleep by time and give your nervous system a gentler landing. We'll use the 210 Sleep Shield in the next section, but the core idea is simple. No alcohol within 2 hours of bed, and add a 10-minute wind down that calms you without sedation. That preserves deep sleep so your balance, reaction time, and mood are better in the morning. Now, you might be thinking, isn't a little red wine good for the heart? The big gains for heart health come from moving more, sleeping better, managing blood pressure, and not smoking, not from a nightly drink. And if that drink steals deep sleep and blunts next day stability, it's working against both your heart and your independence. You'll keep the social pleasure by shifting the timing earlier with dinner, or by swapping the nightcap a few nights a week. Let me make it practical. If you enjoy a drink, have it with your earlier meal, hydrate, and stop 2 hours before your target bedtime. If you take meds, check labels, and talk to your pharmacist. Many interact with alcohol. Replace the bedtime drink with a wind-down routine. Nasal breathing through the nose for 5 minutes, 20 to 30 slow calf raises at the counter, and a light mobility flow for hips and upper back. That sequence quiets your system without drugging it. Common mistakes to avoid: trading wine for sugary dessert or heavy fluids at night. Both disrupt sleep. Swapping to just one beer closer to bed. Same issue, different bottle. Blue light blast before sleep. Television and phones ramp your brain up. Then alcohol tries to slam it down. You wake at 3. Quick when you can try tonight. Set a true bedtime. Count back 2 hours. That's your cutoff. After dinner, drink water or a tart cherry spritzer if you want a treat. At lights down, do 5 minutes of nasal breathing. Inhale 4, hold 1, exhale 6. Add 20 slow calf raises, holding a counter, and a minute of gentle hip circles. Most people feel steadier within a week. Micro story. A client in his late 70s thought one bourbon settled his nerves. He also had a hallway wobble at dawn. We moved the drink to dinner, capped at 1, added the wind down, and swapped late night screens for a book. By night 6, he reported no hallway sway, and his chair stands felt smoother. Same calories, better timing, better sleep. If you remember nothing else from this section, remember this: alcohol doesn't give you better sleep. It gives you shorter, choppier sleep. Choppy nights turn into unsteady mornings, and unsteady mornings turn into bills. Shift the drink earlier or skip it, add a simple wind down, and your brain, balance, and budget all win. Next, I'll give you the exact 210 Sleep Shield, so you can lock this in without white-knuckling it. Fix number 3, the 2 to 10 Sleep Shield. Let me show you exactly how to keep the calm without the crash. The 2 to 10 Sleep Shield. 2 hours with no alcohol before bed, plus a 10-minute wind down that settles your nervous system without sedation. It's simple, consistent, and it protects the deep sleep that steadies your mornings. Here's the structure. First, set a true bedtime. Count back 2 hours. That's your cutoff for alcohol. If you choose to drink, keep it with dinner, hydrate, and be done by that cutoff. After that, you switch to your wind down. It lasts 10 minutes and you'll do it most nights, so your brain links it to sleep. Start with nasal breathing. For 5 minutes, inhale through your nose for 4. Hold 1, exhale through your nose for 6. If that's tough, go 3, 4, 5. The goal is to extend the exhale slightly. That nudges your nervous system toward rest and digest without knocking you out like a sedative. Keep the mouth closed if you can. It reduces dryness and snoring pressure. Next, add 20 to 30 slow calf raises at the counter. Up for 2 counts, pause 1, down for 2. Quiet feet. This does 2 things. It pumps fluid out of the lower legs so you're less likely to wake to pee, and it gives you gentle muscular work that reduces restlessness when you first lie down. Then a light mobility sequence for hips and upper back. 5 slow hip circles, each direction holding the counter, 5 gentle thoracic rotations per side with hands on your rib cage, and a shoulder roll series. 10 back, 10 forward. No straining, no sweat. You're creating a physical off-ramp, so your brain doesn't need alcohol to slam the brakes. Now, swaps for the nightcap. If you want a ritual, make a tart cherry spritzer. A small splash of tart cherry juice topped with sparkling water and ice. Or warm shower for 5 to 10 minutes to drop core temperature after you cool off. If your doctor is aligned and there are no interactions, magnesium glycinate 30 to 60 minutes before bed can support relaxation. Start low, avoid if it upsets your gut. The point is the routine, not the supplement. Feedback matters. Track 2 signals for 7 to 14 nights. How steady you feel on your first 30 steps in the morning and how many times you wake. You can also do a simple balance check right after breakfast. Stand near the counter and try a semi-tandem stance. Heel beside the arch of the other foot for 10 to 20 seconds each side. You're looking for smoother mornings, not perfection. Most people notice better deep sleep within a week once alcohol is out of the pre-bed window. Common mistakes to avoid: replacing the drink with sugar. Dessert spikes blood sugar. Then you crash and wake. Heavy fluids late. Huge herbal teas send you to the bathroom at 2 in the morning. And blasting blue light from television or phones right up to lights out. If screens help you unwind, set devices to warm, lower brightness, and give yourself a 10-minute buffer where you step away and do the wind down. Now, you might be thinking, what if I'm out with friends? Simple, shift your window. If bedtime is 10, finish the drink by 8. If it's a late night, skip the drink or cap it at 1 with water alongside. You're protecting your next morning's balance and energy. That pays you back at the stairs and in your schedule. Here's your first week plan. Night 1, set your bedtime and cutoff. Put a sticky note on the fridge. 2 to 10. After dinner, pour your spritzer, clean the kitchen light and slow, then do your 10-minute wind down. Breathing, calf raises, mobility. Lights dim, phone face down. Night 2 and 3, same. Night 4, if cravings hit, tell yourself, earlier or not at all, drink water and start wind down 5 minutes early. Night 5 through 7, keep the pattern. Consistency beats perfection. Safety notes: if you take medications, check labels for alcohol interactions and talk to your pharmacist before any change. If you feel dizzy during calf raises, reduce the range and hold the counter. If nasal breathing feels stuffy, try a gentle saline, rinse earlier in the evening, and keep the exhale just a touch longer than the inhale. Why this works: you're removing a sleep disruptor and adding signals that calm the system. That preserves deep and REM sleep, which support balance, reaction time, and mood the next day. When mornings feel steadier, you move more, train better, and cut fall risk. That's how a tiny timing tweak helps you avoid the high-cost cascade tied to one bad fall. Quick win tonight. Set in. Alarm 2 hours before bed. When it rings, that's your cutoff and your cue to pour the spritzer, dim 1 lamp, and start the 10-minute wind down. Do it for 7 nights. Then recheck your morning's steadiness and your chair stand smoothness. Small ritual, big return. Lie number 4, doctor approved, med stack that mimics dementia. Now, here's the landmine almost nobody checks. You're taking doctor-approved pills, maybe for sleep, bladder, allergies, or anxiety, and over a few months you feel foggier, dizzier, slower on turns. Family whispers, is this dementia? But the thing most people miss is that certain common medications can mimic dementia symptoms in older adults: confusion, memory lapses, weak grip, slow gait, and unsteady balance. Let me name the usual suspects so you can spot them fast. First, anticholinergics, drugs that block acetylcholine, a chemical your brain and body use for memory and smooth muscle control. In this group, you'll often see bladder meds like oxybutynin, some older antihistamines like diphenhydramine found in many PM, sleep products, and certain tricyclic antidepressants. These can dry your mouth and your brain, leaving you foggy, constipated, and unsteady. Second, sedatives and benzodiazepines. Meds like lorazepam, diazepam, temazepam, and clonazepam, prescribed for anxiety or sleep. They slow reaction time, blunt balance, and can leave a hangover that makes mornings wobbly. Even non-benzodiazepine sleep aids, like zolpidem, can impair next-day stability. Add in some anticonvulsants, strong pain meds, and older antipsychotics, and the load grows heavier. One pill might be manageable. The stack is the problem. Before we continue, you need to understand the compounding effect. Combine an anticholinergic for bladder, a sedating antihistamine for allergies, and a sleep pill at night, then add a nightcap and a dehydrating day, and you've built a perfect storm. You stand up, feel lightheaded, shuffle to the bathroom, and reach for walls. That slow gait and confusion look like cognitive decline, but it might be the pharmacy talking, not your brain failing. The reason this shows up more with age is simple. Metabolism slows, kidney and liver clearance change, and the blood-brain barrier can be leakier. So the same dose that felt fine in your 50s can hit like a sedative in your 70s. Meanwhile, short medical visits and siloed care mean one clinician prescribes a bladder aid, another suggests a sleep helper, and no one tallies your anticholinergic or sedative burden. You're left paying for brain fog you never ordered. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Learn the red flag categories and scan your cabinet. Red flags include anticholinergics like oxybutynin or diphenhydramine, benzodiazepines such as lorazepam, diazepam, temazepam, clonazepam, non-benzodiazepine sleep aids like zolpidem, certain older antidepressants with anticholinergic effects, some antipsychotics, and sedating antihistamines. If any bottle says PM, nighttime, or may cause drowsiness, that's your cue to look closer. Now, you might be thinking, but my doctor prescribed it. Right. And there are times these meds are helpful. The danger is long-term use, higher doses, or combining several sedating or anticholinergic agents. Studies have linked higher cumulative anticholinergic exposure and prolonged benzodiazepine use with increased cognitive problems in older adults. The effect stacks with dose and duration. The fix isn't panic, it's a structured review. Let me show you exactly how this turns into bills. Sedation and confusion lead to stumbles and falls. One bad fall can kick off the hip fracture cascade we talked about. Ambulance, surgery, rehab, copays. First-year totals commonly run between $40,000 and $100,000 depending on coverage, with out-of-pocket gaps that can top $30,000. Add ER visits for drug-induced confusion, extra tests just in case, and new prescriptions to treat side effects from old prescriptions, and the meter flies. Micro-story. A client started waking disoriented at night, shuffling to the bathroom, and grabbing door frames. Family worried about dementia. We checked his cabinet. Oxybutynin for bladder, diphenhydramine PM for sleep, and a lorazepam as needed that crept into most evenings. In a supervised plan with his clinician, he discontinued the diphenhydramine shifted bladder management, and tapered off lorazepam. Within 2 weeks, his morning clarity returned and his hallway sway dropped. Same brain, fewer sedatives, common mistakes to avoid. Going cold turkey on your own, dangerous with many sedatives. Hiding supplements, some interact or sedate too. Assuming over-the-counter means harmless. Diphenhydramine is a classic anticholinergic. And chasing sleep by stacking a PM pill on top of alcohol, double sedation, double balance hit. If you remember nothing else, remember this: dizziness, fog, and slow gait aren't always aging or dementia. Sometimes it's the med mix. One pill can nudge you, the stack can tip you. The smartest move you can make this week is to gather every bottle, prescriptions, over-the-counter, and supplements, and get ready for a 5-question brown bag review. In the next section, I'll give you that exact checklist, plus a quick balance screen, so you and your clinician can fix number risk without the brown bag plus balance review. Let me show you exactly how to defuse the MedMix Landmine with one simple routine, the brown bag plus balance review. You'll bring every pill, patch, drop, and supplement to your next visit. Ask 5 targeted questions for each, then run 2 quick function checks. Done right, this trims fog, steadies gait, and lowers fall risk without guessing. Step 1, the brown bag. Today, grab a grocery bag and collect everything you take: prescriptions, over-the-counter meds, vitamins, minerals, herbs, powders, and drops. Keep original bottles and labels if you can. Print a 1-page list with the name, dose, time of day, and why you think you take it. Add allergies and past bad reactions. Put the list in the bag. Step 2, book a review. Call your primary care clinician or pharmacist and request a medication reconciliation and risk review. Ask for a dedicated slot, not a 5-minute add-on. If you use multiple specialists, tell your primary you want a full look across everything. Bring your blood pressure, sleep, and balance notes if you have them. Step 3, ask the 5 questions for each item. Do I still need this? What's the current benefit for me? Can we try a lower dose or fewer days per week? Is there a safer swap with less anticholinergic or sedative effect? What is the best timing, morning, midday, or evening, to reduce fog and falls? What interactions should I watch for with my other meds, alcohol, or supplements? Flag red flag categories out loud. Anticholinergics like oxybutynin or diphenhydramine, benzodiazepines such as lorazepam, diazepam, temazepam, clonazepam, sedative hypnotics like zolpidem, older tricyclic antidepressants with anticholinergic effects, sedating antihistamines, and strong opioid pain meds. If a label says PM, nighttime, or may cause drowsiness, ask if there's a non-sedating alternative. Before we continue, you need to understand timing. Morning protein before pills can blunt dizziness from an empty stomach. Hydration plus electrolytes early in the day supports blood pressure stability, so you are less likely to sway when you stand. Ask if any med should be taken with food, and group sedating meds away from times you need balance, like dawn bathroom trips. Now, the balance add-on. Right after your review, or at home the same week, test 2 quick screens. 30 seconds sit to stand. Count controlled stands from a chair without using your arms if safe. Under 10, that's a strength flag to pair with medication changes. 4-stage balance. Feet together for 10 seconds, semi-tandem for 10, full tandem for 10, single leg is tolerated up to 10. Stand near a counter. Note the longest holds you can own without stepping. These numbers give you and your clinician objective feedback. If you to prescribe 1 or 2 sedating or anticholinergic items, retest in 2 weeks. Many people see cleaner stands and steadier tandem holds once the sedative load drops. Common mistakes to avoid: abrupt stops on your own, especially with benzodiazepines or sleep aids. Tapering plans are critical and must be supervised. DIY substitutions can backfire. Always confirm swaps and doses. Hiding supplements is another trap. Some natural sleep aids, cough syrups, and cold meds are sedating or interact with prescriptions. Put them in the bag. And do not stack alcohol on top of any sedative. Double hit to balance and reaction time. Here's a sample safer swap conversation. I'm using diphenhydramine at night. Can we try a non-sedating allergy option during the day and use the 210 Sleep Shield at night instead? Or, I'm taking oxybutynin for bladder urgency. Are there behavioral strategies or newer agents with less anticholinergic effect we can try? Or, I use lorazepam for sleep. Can we plan a slow taper and switch to a non-drug wind down while we reassess anxiety in the daytime? Implementation checklist you can print. Brown bag packed with every item plus your one-page med list. 5 questions sheet ready to read at the visit. Morning routine. 16 ounces of water with a pinch of electrolytes, then breakfast protein, before pills if approved. Balance log. Sit to stand count and 4-stage holds recorded today. Then in 2 weeks. Micro story. A client brought 11 bottles, 3 prescriptions for PM, over-the-counter meds, and 4 supplements. After a pharmacist review, he dropped a diphenhydramine-based sleep aid, swapped to a non-sedating allergy tablet, spaced doses earlier, and added morning hydration plus breakfast protein. 2 weeks later, his sit-to-stand rose from 8 to 10, and his tandem balance went from 4 seconds to 9. No extra workouts, just less sedation and better timing. Safety notes. If you feel new confusion, severe dizziness, chest pain, or shortness of breath, seek care immediately. Any taper or change must be clinician-guided. Keep a shared record, paper or app, so all clinicians see the same up-to-date list. Bring a family member to the visit to help take notes. If you remember nothing else, remember this. You do not have to choose between sleep, bladder control, and a steady brain. With a structured review, targeted swaps, smart timing, hydration, and quick balance checks, you can cut the med fog, keep your feet under you, and avoid the fall-to-bill pipeline. Brown bag it this week and give your independence a measurable boost. The $100,000 drain map. How it adds up. Let's follow the money from one preventable fall so you see how fast the drain opens. It starts with the ambulance. Even with coverage, there's a ride bill and an ER copay. Imaging, labs, and consult stack next. If the hip is fractured, you're admitted. Surgery, anesthesia, a few days in the hospital. Costs climb quickly. First-year totals commonly land between $40,000 and $100,000 depending on coverage, and out-of-pocket gaps can pass $30,000 when deductibles, coinsurance, and out-of-network charges hit. After the hospital, you move to post-acute care. Maybe it is a skilled nursing facility for rehab, maybe home health with physical therapy. Acute and post-acute institutional care are the biggest cost drivers, and length of stay adds zeros. Each week of facility-based rehab means room, board, therapy sessions, and medication management. If you go home, you might still need a visiting nurse, multiple therapy visits, and follow-up appointments. Copays and transportation costs show up on repeat. Caregiver time is the next leak. Even if family helps, most households end up buying hours. $25 an hour is a common rate. 2 hours a day for 8 weeks is about $2,800. If recovery is slower, that stretches to months. Add in respite care so family can work or rest, and the meter keeps running. Meanwhile, rides to appointments, pharmacy trips, and missed work for family members create indirect costs that never show on a hospital bill, but land in your budget. Now, the home modifications. A ramp or threshold wedge for the entry, grab bars in the bathroom, a raised toilet, shower chair, handheld shower, non-slip mats, and better lighting. Each item seems small, but together they often total hundreds to a few thousand. If stairs are an issue, You might add railings or pay for a stair assist device short term. If you need a walker, cane, or rollator, insurance may help, but deductibles and upgrades add out of pocket. Drug-related confusion can spiral new bills. Pain meds, sleep aids, or anticholinergic bladder pills get layered on after surgery. A foggy, dizzy morning triggers another ER visit, more scans just in case, and sometimes another prescription to treat the side effects of the first one. Without a med review, you pay for the wrong problem. This is why you did the brown bag plus balance review, so you do not stack sedation on top of a vulnerable brain. Insurance gaps are where people get blindsided. Co-insurance percentages on inpatient and post-acute days, tiered drug formularies under Part D, out-of-network anesthesiology or radiology during surgery, and limits on therapy visits. It looks covered until a letter arrives. If you need durable medical equipment beyond the basics, or specialty rehab, approvals and denials tug of war while the calendar burns. Transportation and logistics add friction costs. If you stop driving while you heal, you pay for rides to therapy and follow UPS. Missed appointments slow progress, which extends care, which raises costs. Every delay has a price tag in both cash and capacity. Here's the part nobody plans for: lost independence time. When you are slower on stairs and transfers, everyday tasks take longer, so you hire help for laundry, meals, or cleaning. 2 hours a week at $25 an hour across 3 months is another $600. If falls lead to fear, activity drops, strength fades more, and you end up buying more help. The spiral feeds itself. The map is clear. One fall can open 5 parallel drains: medical care, medications, caregiver time, home modifications, and logistics. Each seems manageable alone. Together they can pierce your savings. Your sit-stand load training, 303030 protein, 210 sleep shield, and brown bag plus balance review are designed to shut valves at each stage. Fewer stumbles, steadier mornings, clearer heads, stronger legs. Next, I'll give you the 12-minute Independence Daily that ties them together, so you keep both your footing and your funds. The 12-minute Independence Daily. Let's stitch everything into one tight routine you can finish in 12 minutes. It's your insurance policy. Stronger legs, steadier mornings, clearer head. 4 blocks. 4 minutes for legs, 4 for protein setup, 2 for sleep shield prep, 2 for the brown bag check with hydration. Do this most days and you compound wins without thinking. Start with the 4-minute legs block. You'll cycle chair stands, step UPS, and loaded carries. Quickly with clean form. Minute 1. Chair stands for 30 seconds, then rest 30. Aim for smooth reps with 2 to 3 second lowers. If you need a touch of support, fingertip the counter. Minute 2. Step UPS, 15 seconds left, 15 seconds right, then rest 30. Use a low, stable step. Quiet landings, own the down. Minute 3. Loaded carry for 20 to 30 seconds, posture tall, then rest. If you don't have a tote, ready, hug a pillow and practice posture. Minute 4. Repeat chair stands for 30 seconds, then breathe. That's your daily spark. It wakes up fast twitch fibers and keeps your balance system online. Next is the 4-minute protein anchor. You're not cooking, you're staging. The mission is simple. Guarantee 30 grams at breakfast tomorrow. Open the fridge and place your protein front and center. Options that hit the mark fast. 2 hard-boiled eggs plus 1 cup of Greek yogurt, cottage cheese cup with a cheese stick, a prepped smoothie kit, milk in the fridge door, yogurt tub, peanut butter jar, oats scooped and bagged. If you prefer savory, portion-cooked chicken or tuna for lunch as well. Label it 30 with a sticky note. You're removing friction, so the leucine trigger actually happens at the first 2 meals. Now, the 2-minute sleep shield setup. Look at your target bedtime and set a repeating alarm 2 hours before it. That's your alcohol cutoff. Put a small card on the nightstand. Breathe 416 20 calf raises, hips and shoulders easy. If you like a night ritual, park tart cherry juice on a visible shelf and place a sparkling water can beside it. You're staging cues so your brain gets a clear off-ramp without sedation. Finish with the 2-minute brown bag plus hydration pass. Fill a 16-ounce glass or bottle and add a pinch of electrolytes if your clinician approves. Drink it, then grab your medication list and scan for red flags you'll bring to your next visit. Anything labeled PM, diphenhydramine, oxybutynin, and benzodiazepines like lorazepam, non-benzodiazepine sleep aids like zolpidem. Put a sticky note on the bag. 5 questions. If you've already done the full review, just confirm no new over-the-counter items crept in this week. Tie it together with a habit stack. Put your sturdy chair where you see it in the morning next to your water bottle. Place the protein items at eye level in the fridge and a can opener by the bowls. Tape your 210 card near the television remote. Keep the brown bag hanging on a door hook. Every visual is a nudge. You're building an autopilot, not relying on willpower. Here's a sample morning run. You wake, sip water, and do the 4-minute legs block before coffee. Then you eat your pre-staged breakfast protein. Later, you walk, and if time allows, add a second microset of chair stands. Evening comes, your 2-hour alarm rings, you swap to spritzer mode, and dim a lamp. 10 minutes before bed, you breathe, do calf raises, and loosen hips and shoulders. 2 minutes on Sunday, you scan the brown bag and update your list. Common friction points, forgetting gear, running out of protein, and I'll do it later. Solve them with prepositioning and defaults. Buy doubles of your favorite proteins. Keep a tote loaded with 6 pounds by the chair. If stairs or balance feel off one day, keep the block, but shorten ranges. Consistency over heroics. Your weekly checkpoint. Every Sunday, retest the 30-second sit to stand and jot the number on your fridge card. Note how steady your first 30 morning steps feel and how many nights you woke. If the sit to stand rises or feels smoother, you're on track. If it stalls, slow the lowers or add a tiny load. 12 minutes for anchors, legs, protein, sleep timing, med sanity. Keep showing up and your independence compounds. Micro stories, 4 seniors, 4 wins. Let me show you how small, specific changes play out in real lives. Meet Carla, 72, who wanted to keep driving to see her sister across town. Her obstacle wasn't the road, it was her own front steps. She white-knuckled the rail every time and avoided late-day errands because the climb back up drained her. We set the sit-stand load basics. 2 sets of slow chair stands on Monday and Friday, step-ups on Wednesday, and 30 seconds of loaded carries twice a week with a 5-pound tote. She anchored breakfast with 2 eggs and Greek yogurt to hit that 30-gram protein target. Week 2, her sit-to-stand went from 8 to 10. Week 4, she stepped onto her porch without tugging the rail. Week 8, she carried groceries in 1 trip. She kept her license and her confidence, not because she walked more, but because she built force where it counted. Now, Evelyn, 76, wanted to eat better, but dentures made chewing meat a chore. She defaulted to oatmeal, soup, and toast, light but underpowered. Her sit-to-stand stuck at 7, and afternoon slumps sent her to the cookie jar. We switched to denture-friendly proteins. Cottage cheese, with fruit, blended chicken-vegetable soup, Greek yogurt parfaits, and soft scrambled eggs with cheese. Lunch became tuna mashed with white beans and olive oil. She hit the 30-30-30 pattern without fighting texture. By day 10, snack urges fell. At 3 weeks, her sit-to-stand climbed to 9. At 6 weeks, she hit 11. Dentures didn't change, the leucine signal did. Her grocery bill stayed flat because the protein swaps replaced snacks she no longer needed. Then there's Ray, 78, who swore by a nightly bourbon to sleep. He fell asleep fast, woke groggy, and shuffled at dawn. We used the 2 to 10 sleep shield. Same bedtime. Drink move to dinner. Hard stop 2 hours before sleep. We added 5 minutes of nasal breathing, 25 calf raises, and a light mobility flow. He swapped the nightcap for a tart cherry spritzer most nights. By night 5, he reported fewer wake-ups and a steadier first 20 steps. His CPAP felt more tolerable. 2 weeks in, he said, no hallway sway. The drink didn't vanish from his life. It just stopped ambushing his balance. Finally, Gloria, 80, felt foggy and unsteady. Family whispered about memory decline. We ran the brown bag plus balance review. Her bag held oxybutynin for bladder, a PM antihistamine with diphenhydramine, and a low razepam as needed that had crept into most evenings. With her clinician, she swapped to a non-sedating daytime allergy med, adjusted bladder strategies, and planned a slow low razepam taper while adopting the wind down. Morning hydration plus breakfast protein came first, then pills. 2 weeks later, her tandem hold doubled from 4 seconds to 8, and her sit-to-stand rose from 9 to 11. Same brain, fewer sedatives, better footing. Let's put numbers on it so you feel the stakes. Carla's sit-to-stand, 8 to 12 in 8 weeks, and stairs without a rail, priceless for driving. Evelyn's protein, from 15 grams to 30 at breakfast and lunch, with sit-to-stand from 7 to 11, and snack spending down about $15 a week. Ray's mornings reported 2 fewer wake-ups and smoother turns within 7 nights, plus fewer CPAP adjustment calls. Gloria's deprescribing, 1 p.m. med out, low razepam tapered, tandem balance doubled, and 0 nighttime near falls for the first month in a year. What ties these wins together isn't willpower, it's anchors. Sit stand load twice, or 3 times a week, turn steps into strength. The 30-30-30 protein pattern flipped on muscle building 3 times a day. The 2 to 10 sleep shield protected deep sleep, so mornings felt steady. The brown bag plus balance review cut the sedative load, quietly mimicking dementia. And here's the bridge to what's next. Most people slip when life gets busy. The fix is to lock these anchors into tiny daily cues and fall-proof the hotspots that steal momentum, especially the bathroom and shower, where wet floors and slick mats erase progress in 1 second. In the next segment, I'll show you the small, cheap upgrades that guard your wins and keep you off mistakes and friction points to avoid. This is where most people slip, and it is all fixable. First, the all-or-nothing start. You feel motivated, stack daily chair stands, long walks, heavy carries, and by day 6 your knees ache, and you quit. Steady beats heroic. 2 to 3 non-consecutive strength days. Small loads, slow lowers. Progress comes from consistency, not punishment. Second, form drift. Fast, wobbly chair stands, step UPS that slam the knee, and shruggy carries. The fix is simple cues. Sit back and lower for 2 to 3 seconds, quiet feet on step UPS, shoulders down, and back on carries. If you cannot keep posture, lighten the load or shorten the range. Control is strength. Third, protein without fiber or fluids. You add cottage cheese and eggs, but skip vegetables, fruit, and water. Constipation hits, you blame protein, and you stop. Pair every protein with produce and fluids. Greek yogurt plus berries, eggs with tomatoes and spinach, tuna with beans and greens. Drink 16 ounces of water in the morning and add a pinch of electrolytes if approved. Your gut moves, your energy rises, you stay on plan. Fourth, late caffeine under the new no nightcap rule. You cut alcohol before bed, then sip coffee or strong tea late to relax. Caffeine lingers, shreds sleep, and steals next day balance. Set a caffeine cutoff 8 hours before bedtime. If bedtime is 10, last coffee is at 2. After that, switch to decaf or herbal. Fifth, skipping progress checks. No visible wins equals no motivation. Retest the 30-second sit to stand every Sunday and jot the number on a card. Log your first 30 morning steps, steady, a little wobbly, or sway city. Track protein hits at breakfast and lunch. Small upticks keep you showing up. Sixth, not bringing a full meds and supplements list to visits. You guess doses, forget the PM bottle, and the sedative burden stays hidden. Brown bag every item, including over-the-counter, and natural products. Read the 5 questions at the visit. You cannot fix what your clinician cannot see. Seventh, gear friction. The sturdy chair is buried, the tote is empty, the step is wobbly, and yogurt is in the back of the fridge. You intend to train and eat right, then stall because nothing is ready. Solve with prepositioning. Chair by the water bottle, tote preloaded to 6 pounds, step stable by a counter, protein at eye level with a 30 sticky. Eighth, chasing novelty. You scroll for new exercises and recipes instead of repeating the few that work. Master boring basics. Chair stands, step UPS carries, eggs, yogurt, tuna, beans, chicken. Simplicity wins. Ninth, pain misreads. Sharp joint pain means reduce range or load and check form. Normal muscle fatigue is fine. Knee ache on step UPS. Lower the step and slow the down phase. Grip tired on carries? Shorten time. Pain is information. Adjust, do not abandon. 10th, going solo. No accountability means drift. Tell one person your Sunday sit-to-stand number and your protein hits. Share wins, ask for a nudge. A buddy text beats willpower. If you feel overwhelmed, zoom out. You do not need perfect days. You need fewer bad days in a row. Keep a rescue mini, 10 slow chair stands, 1 yogurt, and the 210 wind down. That is enough to keep momentum when life gets messy. The 6-week progress plan. Let's lock this in with a clear 6-week roadmap so you know exactly what to do and when. Weeks 1 and 2, foundation and signals. Do sit-stand load twice per week. Session A, chair stands and loaded carries. Session B, chair stands and step UPS. 2 sets each, 5 to 8 reps on chair stands and step UPS, 20 to 30 seconds on carries. Focus on 2 to 3 second lowers and posture. For protein, anchor breakfast at 30 grams every day, 2 eggs plus Greek yogurt or cottage cheese bowl, or protein oatmeal with milk. Lunch hits 30 grams at least 4 days a week. Start the 210 Sleep Shield cutoff alarm and do the 10-minute wind down 3 nights a week. Brown bag. Gather every item and book the medication review for week 4. Sunday checkpoint. 30-second sit to stand. Note morning steadiness and tally how many meals hit 30 grams. Weeks 3 and 4. Progression and review. Move to 3 sit-stand load sessions per week if recovery feels good. A, B, then carries plus step UPS. Add a 3rd set for 1 move per session, or slow the down phase to 3 seconds. If 8 reps feel smooth, hold a 2 to 5 pound load for the final chair stand set. Carries extend to 35 to 40 seconds if posture is crisp. Protein now hits 30 grams at breakfast and lunch most days. Keep dinner familiar. Lock the 210 Sleep Shield 5 nights a week. Complete your brown bag plus balance review with your clinician or pharmacist. Ask the 5 questions for each red flag item and plan any tapers or safer swaps. Sunday checkpoint. Sit to stand, tandem balance holds, and a quick note on night wakings. Weeks 5 and 6, capacity and consolidation. Raise step height by 1 inch if knees are happy, or add a light bag for step UPS. Chair stands, 3 sets of 6 to 10, slow lowers, optional 2 to 3 second pause just above the chair on 1 set. Carries up to 45 seconds if posture holds. Protein variety expands. Rotate beans, eggs, dairy, canned fish, and tender meats so you do not burn out. The 210 Sleep Shield becomes your default 6 nights a week. Revisit med timing. Move any remaining sedating agents away from times you need balance, add morning hydration and protein before pills when approved, and confirm your updated list is shared across clinicians. Sunday checkpoint: sit to stand, balance holds, and a one-line reflection. Stairs easier, car exit smoother, hallway steadier. Micro rewards keep you engaged. At the end of each 2-week block, give yourself a non-food treat. New walking route with a friend, a paperback, a better tote, or a cushioned mat by your training chair. Share your checkpoint numbers with your buddy. Wins are stickier when witnessed. If life interrupts, a cold, travel, guests, run the rescue mini on off days, 10 slow chair stands, 1 30-gram protein meal, and the 10-minute wind down. That protects your floor, so you do not start over. By the end of week 6, you should see cleaner chair rises, steadier tandem holds, smoother mornings, and fewer snack urges. Your next move is to keep the cadence and shift attention to fall-proofing the hotspots that can erase gains in one slip, starting with the bathroom and shower. Future pacing your independence. Fast forward 6 months. Stairs feel routine, up on the balls of your feet, down with control, no rail grab. Getting in and out of the car is smooth, and you take solo trips without checking your calendar for recovery days. Weekend park time with the grandkids is playful, not careful. Mornings start steady, so you say yes to more things you care about. Now, the money picture. Fewer copays because you are not bouncing between urgent visits. No paid rides to routine appointments because you are confident behind the wheel. Less home help because the basics, laundry, groceries, shower setup, move faster with stronger legs and clearer head. Those quiet wins stack into real savings across the year. Your sleep is deeper, your mind feels cleaner, and your grip is firmer. That combo protects choices, where you live, how you spend time, and what you do with your savings. Next up, we'll tighten the home environment, simple bathroom and shower upgrades that preserve footing and cash. There is a $12,480 mistake hiding in that room that most people miss. We will fix it before it fixes your budget. Here is your 3-action. Start today. First, do 10 slow chair stands right now. Own the 2 to 3 second lower. Second, stage tomorrow's breakfast to hit 30 grams of protein, yogurt plus 2 eggs, or your favorite dense option. Third, set a real bedtime and a 2-hour alcohol cutoff alarm. Book your medication review, print the 5 questions, and pack the brown bag tonight. Block a 12-minute Independence Daily on your calendar for the same time each day. Place your sturdy chair, preloaded tote, and fridge protein where you will see them. In the comments, post your 30-second sit-to-stand count and your cutoff time. Come back in 7 days with your new number. The key shift is simple. Replace 4 healthy lives with 4 anchors. Sit, stand, load, 303030 protein, the 210 sleep shield, and the brown bag plus balance review. Together, they protect your legs, sleep, brain, and cash flow. Run the Independence Daily for 14 days and track 2 things: your 30-second sit-to-stand count and how steady your first 30 morning steps feel. Subscribe for the bathroom and shower fall-proofing guide next. The tiny upgrades that guard these gains and help you avoid that $12,480 mistake.